Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. This is Leo here with the Cohen Group, and I've got my cool gamer glasses on here. I take those off. I just wanted to make a quick video, and this is not about real estate. This one's actually more about mindset. It can be applied to business, life, just a book that I read recently that I think everybody can apply to business, life, relationships, everything like that. Um, this book talks a lot about the five laws of stratospheric success and how we can focus on others and serving others and others in best interests and how that can actually help us grow, whether it's personally, business, many other spiritually, whatever it is. So I want to go through these really quickly, and I want to hear feedback on maybe some examples that these things have happened in your life. But this just really helped me recently because I'm growing this business right now, and I'm trying to grow as a person because I think we're all trying to do that, and if we're not, we should be trying to grow as a person. Um, but ultimately, I want to give to others and focus really on how I can serve others and put my best foot forward, provide the most value to other people, because that's ultimately what we're doing in sales or any customer service. We're trying to provide the most value to other people. And if we're focusing on our business as transactional, if you're in a commission-based business, or if you're focusing on as a relational business, there's two dramatically different results. So I want to go through these, and I'll give you a couple of examples. I don't want to keep this video too long, but I just want to hear feedback, anybody's thoughts on this. The first one is called the law of value. So your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. So that one blew my mind. So that's coming back to that idea of looking at things as a relational bond versus a transactional bond. So I'm not thinking about, when I'm showing someone a home, I'm not thinking about the commission that I'm going to make on the back end. I'm thinking about, okay, this person needs this thing, and this is what I can do. This is my knowledge, and what I can do is I can educate this person. I can help them get what they want, and I can just focus on making everything smooth for them. And if I do that, I know that everything else is going to work out. So, and it doesn't matter. For me, obviously, we want to get paid for what we do, but we don't need to focus on that. We focus on our client, what they need, and how we can help them achieve that. So the first law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. Just a different perspective, right? The second law is the law of compensation. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. That one blows my mind because, I mean, realistically, you see the most successful people in the world, and I'm not saying I'm one of them because I'm just, trying to grab on and learn as much as I can from all these people that have come before me and will come after me. But ultimately, what that means is, does what you do, does it reach enough people, and is it quality, right? So it's like, how much quality can you give to how many people? What's up, Roy? Welcome, everybody. So again, it's determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So whatever you do, how well you serve them, how many people. The third law is the law of influence. So your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. That one is amazing. What's up, Adam? How's it going? How abundantly you place other people's interests first. So that's like, it's totally weird because you think that influence is based upon how much money and power and success and whatever it is. But ultimately, those things are actually just a result of focusing abundantly on other people's best interests. So if you just abundantly focus your time and energy on, hey, Scotty, what's up, Jordan? If you focus your time and energy on abundantly putting your spouse, your business partners, your, soccer teammates, whatever it is, if you put their best interest first, abundantly, all of a sudden, these people want to help you too. And it's not a win. You're not talking about win-win, because win-win is 50-50. It kind of implies a scorecard. And we're not doing these things to have, if I do something nice for Scott McKenzie here, who just joined the video here, it's not because I expect him to do it back for me. I just know that he's my buddy, and I know that if I ever needed something, he would help me out. But it's not, I don't buy Scott a drink because I expect him to buy me a drink. It's not like that. I do that because I want to spend time with him, and I ultimately want to create an experience. And if you focus on that, all of a sudden, Scott then wants to help me. But that's not the reason we're doing it. So that's just to clarify that this whole idea of 50-50 win-win, I think ultimately creates a scorecard. And I don't think life is about a scorecard. I think it's just contributing value to people's lives. Okay, that's law number 3, the law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Okay, number 4, the law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. And that blows your mind because, you know, when you're growing up, you go through middle school, which is this kind of morphing time where you're trying to be cool and you're trying to be this and you're trying to be that. And you're trying to be, for me, I was trying to learn how to skateboard. And I'm like, yeah, I really want to be a skater. And I can't tell you how many times I fell off a skateboard and I was just like, it's not me. I had this poofy Jufro and it's not me. Anyways, what's up, Nate? So the whole idea is the best gift that you have to give to other people, and they may not like it or not, or they may like it or not, is yourself. So not giving a projection of who you want to be, but a projection of who you are. So this is just, you know, a way that, you know, when I'm meeting with clients, I usually say something about myself that is a little bit personal. And so that's a way of connecting with people. What's up, Huntley? So the idea is that a sincere version of yourself is the best version of yourself, right? And some people will say, I don't like you. And you say, great, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep being myself. And if there's things about you that, you know, obviously you can work on and grow, those are things that are important to work on. So you can, but you don't really want to have the goal of having everybody like you. That's not the point. The point is to be yourself, present yourself, who you are. And if someone doesn't like it, whatever, doesn't matter. There are other people that are going to like you and for who you are. So the last one, this is all about giving, right? And I'm going to share a little quote here in a second. The 5th one is the law of receptivity. The key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. And in this book that I just read, you know, it's called The Go-Giver. He's talking about, he says, you know what? I want you to try to breathe out, and I'll tell you when to stop breathing out. And the guy's like almost passes out because he's trying to breathe out. And ultimately, what he finds out is that in order to breathe out, he has to breathe in, right? He has to inhale oxygen to breathe out CO2. And just like plants, when they're breathing in CO2, they breathe out oxygen. So there's this idea that, you know, in order to have the other one, we have to have what we're producing, right? Huntley, what's up, my man? Looking clean cut. I shaved too far, and then I had to shave. Otherwise, I wouldn't shave. Just kind of a heads up on that. Anyways, the point being that in order to give, you have to be receptive to receiving. Redundant. Yeah, good. Been out of college for a while. Anyways, the point being that when somebody, it's a flow. It's an ebb and flow of giving and receiving, and you can't give unless you're open to receiving. If you are so focused on giving that you're not open to someone else doing the same thing, that cuts off the flow. And when the flow of giving and receiving gets messed with, all of a sudden things get out of whack. Anyways, that is all I have to talk about today. But if you guys haven't read this book, it is super short. I read it in 2 hours. I drove down to Seattle, and on the way back, there and back, I read it all. And not reading while driving, but listening on Audible. So I want to like preach this idea of giving because I think too often we focus on you know, what's in it for us. So when we get like in sales, just as an example, when we get low on, you know, contracts, you know, we get a little bit desperate and we start thinking about, oh man, I need to get this amount of money to pay my bills next month. But what the thought should be is actually, who do I have to go out and help? Who can I go focus on their needs to help that? But you can't think about the result and the end result. You have to think about, okay, what I'm doing is I'm focusing on the wrong thing. Who can I go out and help today? Who has questions? And it's not about just selling a home that day. It's about who has questions. Anyways, I'd love to hear everybody's feedback on these 5 laws. I'm going to post them below just so you guys have them. And then I'll post a link to the book because it's just an awesome book. Anyways, I hope that was inspirational. I hope it helps people think a little bit more about how we're going about our day, whether it's personally, business, spiritually, whether in our relationships, things like that. Anyways, And I'm going to keep posting things like this because it's kind of my digital journal. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will post another one soon. Adios.